Hey guys, thanks for watching. Elise makes a bunch of videos. Sorry, the camera's a bit on an angle, but we're gonna roll with it. That's sort of the theme of this video anyways. Yeah, so today I want to talk about a blog that I did about adaptability. Before I get into that, let me just mention how beautiful this infinity scarf is that I won from the Notable Narwhal for ambiguously naming a rotten citrus fruit on the Instagram page. I'll leave a link for that if you're interested in more scarf and other apparel things. You should definitely check that out. Yeah, back to the point. So my blog post about adaptability is another quote of the day blog that I've done, and the quote is from Charles Darwin, and it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. So with that, it's basically saying, just because maybe you have extensive knowledge or you have really good abilities, if you can't deal with like changes and problems and challenges as they come, then it's going to be more difficult for you to survive in the end, or just like thrive, survive, whatever you want to call it, but definitely survive. I mean, Charles Darwin said it, so it must be true, right? But yeah, so with that, I kind of talked about this a little bit in the blog, and basically just saying, because like for me, this is actually one of those things that I'm not really trying to work on as much. I think it's one of those that I'm pretty good at. Adaptability has been something that I've constantly had to deal with in my life, especially the last few years. Constantly traveling, changing jobs, moving around. Even when I was younger in Vancouver, going to university, I was moving like at least every sort of like 8 months or 6 months or so. So like always just like moving, changing environments. I was going to school and I was working full-time hours. So all these different jobs, classes, coordinating everything. So like consistency in terms of like life for me isn't really a thing. So I've had lots of opportunities to learn about adaptability. I've traveled to over 28 countries. I've had so many jobs, dozens of jobs. And I just find like facing new challenges really helps you to change your perspective. And at the end of the blog, I kind of say, expect more from yourself, take risks, and if you're afraid, do it anyways. And that's kind of what happens when you're faced with a challenge or something that you have, an obstacle that you have to get around or over. It's not going to be a natural, easy, comfortable thing. You have to like take it on and deal with the uncomfortableness, and even if you're a little bit afraid of the results, you sort of have to do it anyways. So, I mean, you can avoid all that your whole life. You can stay in a job that you hate. You can stay with a person that you're not compatible with just because you're afraid of change. Or you can kind of balls up and just be like, all right, well, if I do this, my life will improve in the long term, even if in the short term it will be slightly annoying. So yeah, that's pretty much my thing with that. Basically, it just, like, it takes a lot of patience, which is odd because I feel like I'm not a very patient person. But I mean patience with yourself, patience with others. I think I'm alright with that, but maybe just not so much with patience with work and some other things. But yeah, just like on a very sort of other side of the idea there, I also brought up a little bit about how like yoga, I do a lot of yoga, and it's like flexibility. You're constantly like pushing the boundaries and seeing like what your limits are and like trying to improve and that kind of thing. It's just like any physical thing, like going to the gym or whatever. You're tracking where you're at, and then kind of like looking forward to improve. And Yeah, it's all about like perspective. I know Simon Sinek talked about the difference between being nervous and being excited and how they're the exact same physical characteristics. And so I get that a lot, like, because I travel a lot and people are like, aren't you nervous to go to like Honduras or wherever, these places that are supposed to be so scary? But I mean, it's the same exact it's the same exact feeling. Like, I'm not really nervous. I'm excited. I'm excited to go. Maybe anxious about some of the things in terms of like specifics in travel and that kind of thing, and timing and tickets and whatever. But overall, it's the same exact thing. You can either say you're nervous or you're excited. It's the same exact thing, just positive or negative. So yeah, when you're faced with challenges, are you going to be nervous? Are you going to be excited? Probably both, or it's the same thing. So you decide what it is, really, because it's the same. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I'll have a link to the actual blog post itself on this video, as well as a link to the notable narwhal for all sorts of beautifulness. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, thanks again for watching, and peace, guys.